That was so much fun. Welcome to the Paq-Man's Corner. This afternoon we have a very, very, very special guest. Uh, a very special person, even in her own country. I call her the Queen of Paraguay, the great Berta Rojas, one of the greatest guitarists of any time. Berta, thank you for being with us here. Welcome to our show. And let's talk about one of our favorite composers, which is Agustín Barrios Mangoré, el cacique Nitsuga Mangoré. And uh, maybe some of our people knows about how much fun we have in our tour that we did in many countries of Latin America, celebrating the music of the most representative of the composers and guitarists of your homeland and all Latin America. He's el inalcanzable, le llamó Villalobos. Can you tell us something about Agustín Barrio Mangoré and your experience with his music?
Well, thank you so much, Paquito. It is a true honor for me to be sharing this space with you. Every opportunity that we have to spend some time together is always a treat for me because I love your music and I love you. You are a dear friend to me. And I remember fondly the day that I called you and I invited you to come and join me to retrace the steps of this wonderful composer, Agustín Pío Barrios Mangoré. I wasn't quite able to figure out the what's happening when you said yes, right? You said something like, oye chica, vente el viernes a New York y nos comemos unos frijoles juntos, ¿no?
For a change.
And that was amazing. I drove all the way to New York. We had those frijoles together, and that was the beginning of a relationship that brought us to so many different countries. 16 countries we visited
16
together.
countries.
16 countries, retracing the steps of Mangore. And you opened many doors for us, Paquito, because that album that we recorded together was the first album from Paraguay that was nominated to a Latin Grammy as Best Instrumental Album, and that was an album in which we included so much music dedicated to Agustin Barry. So I will always be thankful to you for what you have done, for the music of Agustin Barrios, for Paraguayan music, and for yours truly.
Well, for me, it was a treat, to receive a call from you. Probably you never knew that I was an admirer of you. I am a follower of the classical guitar. I have been surrounded by great classical guitarists in my homeland. I knew Carlos Molina and of course Leo Blauer and so many other guitarists. And then when I come to this country, I met a guy called Farid Haq. He's one of the most versatile guitarists I ever met. He's an electric guitarist, a classical guitarist, blues guitarist. He plays a lot of different styles of music. Among them, the music of Antonio Lauro and Agustin Barrios. So I say, I remember that music. I don't remember where. I said, well, this is the music of Lauro and Agustin Barrios. Agustin Barrios was an inspiration for Lauro. He was the first person that put the Latin American classical guitar, to call it some way, in the position that it is today. Thanks to him, Antonio Lauro exists and so many others, including Villalobos.
That is true. And we were able to see firsthand also the impact that Agustin Barrios had in all of Latin America when he went and played concerts as a pioneer and virtuoso of the classical guitar in those days. Imagine that when I don't know if you remember this, Paquito, but when we visited Trinidad and Tobago, there was a man that brought us a concert from Agustin Barrios' visit, 1935. to Trinidad and Tobago, and he brought this original program of that concert.
I remember that.
And they
Yes.
kept it in his family for all these years, Imagine how many concerts we go. How many programs do you keep? How many programs do you keep your entire life? So they knew that something very, very important was happening, or something very unique when Agustin Barrios played in Trinidad and Tobago in those days.
I think that was the concert that we played with that girl who played the steel drums, right?
Yeah,
The
wasn't
steel
that spectacular?
the steel pan. I am crazy about that instrument. You know, I have great experience with people that play that instrument, like uh, I've been in love with all that type of music because the sound is so different and so different from the music of Agustin Barrios. So you put together something different of what I play with Andy Nadel, for example. And that girl was. Where did you find that girl?
It was unbelievable, Paquito, because when we were trying to figure out what to do with that program, with retracing the steps of Mangere, we thought it was going to be really beautiful if we could engage local artists to play with us, you know. So we invited some of the celebrities in every country that we visited to join us and play music of Agustin Barrios in their own instruments, in their own style. So we had Mia Gormandi, that was her name. And Mia
Mia.
Gormandi played the steel pan,
Yeah.
and she transcribed Un sueño en la floresta by Agustin Barrios, which is a tremolo piece.
Yes.
How can you do a tremolo piece on a steel pan? And she used two of them, Paquito, in order to transcribe that. That was a memorable moment. I will never forget that.
I never forget because before and after that, I played with Victor Provost and Andy Narell and so many great pan players. And that girl make a mark on me. I will never forget that girl. She played
Mia
that.
Gormandi.
Sí, El sueño en la floresta.
Un
We had
sueño en la
great experience in that of that tour.
Oh, yeah.
Unique experiences.
Unique experiences. And also because it allowed you to feel how much impact an artist can have in the life of so many people all throughout Latin America with the honesty of his music, because that was Agustin Barrios had. And we could find people that were bringing us manuscripts of his music as it happened in Costa Rica. In Costa Rica, there were people that brought us manuscripts of Agustin Barrios' music, and presented that with us. It was really, really amazing, unbelievable. And traveling with you was a joy, Paquito.
Well, likewise here. It was great. And Flora and all the people that work with you too.
Flora, Marcelo.
Yeah. Well, was I have I have already a very long career, and that is like a milestone in my career. The time that I spent with you working on the music of Agustin Barrio and other composers, and I have to do some remark. The great Duke Ellington always say that good arranging is like recomposing, and we have the privilege to have in our side a great arranger from Paraguay, Pinchi Cardoso Campos. Tell us something about that wonderful composer and guitarist and arranger, especially arranger.
Yeah. Well, Pinche Cardoso Campo is a dear figure of music in Paraguay. Paquito, he's also the son of Mauricio Cardoso Campo, the composer of the famous Galopera that many people probably heard from Paraguay. He is a wonderful musician, and when we got the opportunity to do this tour together, we needed to find a good arranger that could blend the classical and popular aspects of the music of Agustin Barrios and give your presence into this music a unique place. And I think that he was able to figure out how to intervene in the music of Agustin Barrios to open those spaces for you, and also to make me feel comfortable with the music that we were playing. And the magic of that happened with the arranging that Pinchi Cardoso Campo was able to create for us.
Well, mainly because he's a guitarist and a professional arranger. I find, well, he told me that he worked as an arranger for the radio TV in Argentina, in Buenos Aires, for many years. The Canal Siete, he was the most important there. He was founded by Goar Mestre, which is a Cuban empresario who moved to Argentina in 1959 for some reason. But well, that's a different story. And he became a professional arranger and looked like he learned how to make the life of the musician easier and not complicate things too much. And I feel so comfortable playing every single note that he wrote. And this is not that it's a facilissimo or anything, but he knew how to write for the saxophone, for the clarinet, and especially for the guitar because he's a guitarist. We got in this program uh, an arrangement of like a opera that he wrote for us for clarinet, C clarinet, soprano saxophone, bass clarinet, and all that, and everything was so well done. You know, pitch is a dream as an arranger.
It's a dream as an arrangement, especially that arrangement of La Galopera. People can check later on my YouTube channel to find the live recording of that. It was an homage of his son to the father, you know. So that made that arrangement even more special, you know. And here, Paquito, there are people asking us why are we speaking in English if we can speak in Spanish.
You know,
¿Por qué en inglés? Dice.
that happened all the time. But when we edit the program, sometimes we need to put some subtitles. The thing is that the English language is an easy language to learn, and that's why it's so easy to communicate around the world with English. I have a friend who is a wonderful trumpet player, Argentinian, Gustavo Vergali, and he lived like for 30 years in Stockholm, Sweden. And he told me, Paquito, I lived there 25 years without speaking in Swedish, only speaking in English, because it's very simple to speak this language. And then, of course, he learned to speak Swedish because he found a beautiful Swedish lady who told him how to do it. Qué raro, ¿verdad?
Qué raro.
Pero sí, aquí hablamos a veces algunas palabras en español. I remember that program I did in Miami for Absolute Vodka, and there was a concert, and the producer, who was a guy from France, he said, I came to this country as an immigrant, and I learned to speak the language of this country. Yeah, you should do it. You go to any country, you should learn the language. And then, please speak in English. I said, this is going to be hard because speaking in English to Willie Chirino, you know, a salsa singer. And then he say, oh man, you live in New York? I know that, you know, when I love that city, but I don't like that because it's so cold that the mango snore. Digo, ¿qué tú quieres? What do you mean with that? Dice, que allá hace un frío que le ronca el mango. It's so cold that the mango snore.
Paquito, you know what I like is also your anecdote when you were about to play a concert in Spain and you confused the languages that you had to speak in. Tell us that's an amazing anecdote.
That's an amazing anecdote. I used to play with a wonderful trumpet player, multilingual person too. He speaks French and Spanish perfect and everything. His name was Claudio Roditi, my very, very dear Claudio Roditi, a spectacular musician. He was like my brother. And then we went touring here, and then we flew to Spain, and we went directly to Toledo, I believe, something, driving. And I was very tired. And then I said, Claudio, will you please, will you start the band? And then I come later and talk to the people. And say, we played the beginning of the show. And then I say, ladies and gentlemen, we are very happy to be here. We have been having a very long tour, and we are very tired. but at least here I don't have to speak in English. And Claudio said, tenía ese acento portugués, brasileño, sí. Sí, Bishop, pero você está falando en inglés como Shakespeare, en Spain. Los gallegos me miraban como, como un perrito cuando tú le enseñas un choricito que es así. The thing that happened to us, you know, I wrote this book, My Sax Life, Mi Vida Sexual, that I tell all those stories about the touring. In nothing, the touring. Well, you know that like me, touring is not only what happened on the stage, but what happened off the stage, what happened to us in the stage. I remember an anecdote that Dave Brubeck told me that they went to a hotel in New Jersey after the concert, like 2 o'clock in the morning, with the famous Dave Brubeck Quartet. In those days, in 1950s, Dave Brubeck was like Wynton Marsalis today, very famous guy. So he went there. Everybody knew. Well, not everybody. People that knows about music knows Dave Brubeck. And then they went to the desk in the hotel. There was a sleepy guy. He said, "Who are you?" I said, "Dave Brubeck." He said, "Brubeck." Well, I don't see you. I said, "Well, the Dave Brubeck Quartet." And the guy said, "Oh, the Dave Brubeck Quartet. And how many in your quartet?" ¿Y cuándo son en tu cuarteto? Es que es como de qué color es el caballo blanco de Maceo, ¿no? O de
Más o
Bolívar.
menos así, más o menos así. Oye, Paquito, ¿quieres recordar algunas imágenes de nuestra gira atrás las huellas de Mangoré?
Oh, yo siempre quiero recordar la imagen de esa gira que fue tan feliz para mí.
Por ahí podemos pedirle a nuestro querido Juanito que nos pase ese video, ¿no?
Juanito Ruiz, nuestro maravilloso asistente, el hacelo todo. Ese sabe hacerle todo y cocina bien también, supongo. Juanito, ¿qué tiene por ahí para nosotros? One of the most impressive aspects of the life of Agustín Barrios Mangoré is como se burló de todo el mundo, que se vistió de indio, de cacique, that he started going to the stage dressed like somebody from a tribe that he invented, you know, and he called himself Mitsuga Mangoré. What the hell was that, you know?
And Mitsuga being only Agustín spelled backwards. So imagine Segovia's reaction when we heard of that, you know. Segovia that was trying to position the guitar as a respected concert instrument, and Agustin Barrios dressed as an Indian chief, in his concerts. He was un irreverente, realmente.
No, uh, now I remember that today is very special, not only a very special guest, but a very special occasion because today is Berta Rojas' birthday. So I had to play something for her.
Please. Muchísimas gracias. Y que venga la dueña de esa maravillosa voz, por favor. Tiene que venir a la cámara, Brenda.
Miren, aquí la tenemos.
Hola, Brenda, querida.
Aquí estamos siempre. Qué bien.
Qué alegría verte, qué alegría escucharte.
Ay, bueno, hay que celebrarlo. Lo celebraremos más tarde, querida.
Muchas gracias, querida. Muchas gracias. Gracias, Paquito. Gracias por la oportunidad también de compartir contigo este rato y alegrarme de esta manera mi cumpleaños.
Bueno, pues qué bueno que pudimos celebrar, aunque sea en la distancia, y ojalá que pronto se vaya esta cosa que nos está golpeando y que nos podamos reunir y abrazarnos fraternalmente como hacíamos en los buenos viejos tiempos. Gracias, Juanito, por tu asistencia y tu entusiasmo de siempre. Juanito tiene un entusiasmo contagioso, una cosa tremenda. Y logra cosas y ha hecho esto con mucho amor. Juanito, ¿quieres tocar esto que grabamos tan bonito? Que es una de mis canciones, de mis piezas favoritas del maestro Mangoré, es Machiche. ¿Y por qué? Porque yo soy loco con la música brasileña. Yo siempre falo que la mitad do meu coração é brasileiro. Gosta muito de la música de la playa, la música, todo de Brasil. El feijão es tremendo. Y parece que Mangoré también amaba la música brasileña. And he wrote this beautiful piece that we recorded in our CD, Día y Medio. And it's called Machiche. Thank you, Berta, to be with us. Y ojalá que nos encontremos muy pronto.
Ojalá que sí, maestro. Te quiero mucho. Cuídate mucho. Y que pase toda esta locura pronto. Gracias a todos por acompañarnos. Fuerte abrazo. Gracias.